Hello everybody, this is me, Turner Blackie, and have you ever wondered how the world of Swordmasters came to be? If not, I am here today exploring the lore of Swordmasters. Make sure to watch till the end, and enjoy. Throughout history, there have been stories, dark, chilling tales, of creatures that lurk in the shadows. Some call them demons, others trolls, but one name has stuck for centuries: orcs. Now here when I mention orcs, I would be referring to the history of all of Roundheads, orcs and bone chewers. They are brutal, relentless, and always at war with humanity. Today, we're diving into the history of orcs and their eerie connection to Orcland. Orcs aren't just fantasy creatures. They've existed in myths across cultures for centuries. One of the earliest mentions of orcs comes from the Old English epic, Beowulf. There, we hear about the Orkneys, dark, cursed beings exiled from both the world of men and gods. They are man-eating monsters or demons that are descendants of Cain. They were related to Grendel and his demon army, beasts that lived in the darkness and used to eat human beings. Now I am not 100% sure if the forest orcs and bone chewer eat human beings, but the name bone chewer suggests that they chew bones. What I mean is they probably eat mankind. I have another proof asserting this theory. When we die to orcs or any other monsters in the game, our bodies lie in the place of death. After reincarnation, if we visit that spot, we can no longer see the body. What does this mean? Where does our bodies go? Do they decompose so quickly? No. I think the answer is something dark, something twisted. Now I must apologize in advance because I'm going to ruin this game for you. As Shrek once said.
Now, ogres, they're much worse. They'll make a suit from your freshly peeled skin. No! They'll shave your liver, squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Actually, it's quite good on toast.
Yes, this is exactly how they would eat you. I think orcs are mutated versions of Roundheads, and bone chewers are actually ogres and are a mutated version of forest orcs. Now, the question is who created them. We know that the Orkneys are the descendants of Cain, but are there any creators or ancestors of the orcs in Swordmasters? If we go to the desert world, we would find a maze named Senenmut. If I remember correctly, he was a magic expert. Then we also have Iman in Space World collecting the eyes, and we even have Lucifer and Kratos in Death World and Heaven each. All of them can be responsible for the creation of these monsters. But the one I doubt the most is actually Witcher from Dragon's World. If I remember correctly, he was collecting souls of Dragon's Guardians to get his soul back. The question is, did he really use the souls to get his soul back, or did something sinister with them? He might have been collecting the souls to trap them inside the dead bodies of the players and converting them to Roundheads, orcs, and bone chewers. He is lying, and it is very clear. He said he would require 20 souls to get his soul back. Some people might fall for this and defend him by saying,
maybe he needs to sacrifice 20 souls to reach his soul. That is very common in both history and pop culture. He might have been too desperate.
This is an interesting defense, so I am not going to argue against it, but we have another proof of his false testimony. Based on my observation, Swordmasters.io gets around 1,300 people on an average every day, of which many are new players. Now, considering every day 30 to 40 new players step on the Dragon's World for the first time, and around 25 to 35 people completes his quest of bringing him 20 souls, he would have 500 to 700 souls daily. That is around 182,500 to 255,500 per year. The Dragon's World was added in late 2023, which means he's been collecting souls, the innocent guardian's soul, for over a year and a half. Now, mind you, It's a data based on my assumption. The actual figures might be way higher, and he might gain up to 1,000,000 souls per year. No wonder all these monsters keep coming even after we have killed thousands, if not millions or billions of them all this time. It's a shenanigans of the Witcher, with his twisted mind and soul. After gaining the powers and becoming the Witcher, his mind might have been corrupted with his new powers, and he can no longer think straight. The reason I mentioned the Orkneys earlier is to show how much similarities they share. They even have similar names. It is very much possible that Witcher is actually Cain and has made himself a demon. Now he is creating an army of orcs, roundheads and bone chewers to conquer the realm of Swordmaster Io. If you are unsatisfied with the legends of Orkneys, we have something more interesting on the land of rising sun. On the other side of the world, we have the Oni, fearsome demons from Japanese folklore. Unlike the Orkneys, Oni weren't always born evil. Many stories tell of wicked humans who were transformed into Oni as punishment for their sins. Once they became Oni, they were banished from the human world, forced to live in isolation, or worse, to raid villages and spread terror. Oni were often depicted as massive, horned beings with red or blue skin, wielding enormous clubs. They were the enforcers of hell, punishing souls who had strayed from the path of righteousness. But in some legends, Oni were more than just mindless brutes. Some ruled over remote mountain fortresses, acting as bandit kings who demanded tribute from nearby villages. Others were former warriors or monks who succumbed to dark desires, gaining demonic strength at the cost of their humanity. This story is also feasible and applicable to our Swordmasters lore. We all know the orcs beat farmers, Farmer's Tea for example, and take all their money. Sounds familiar? Some Onis also did the same in Japanese folklore. They acted as bandits and spread terror to villagers. Ever wonder why there's a small bridge between the two islands? It's because the villagers cannot fight the Onis, here forest orcs, and depend on us players for help. While the Onis are busy dealing with us, the village thrives a day indulging in regular activities, such as trading and business. At night, the players do not come. This can be proven by the fact that we never spawn at the Orcland during night, and the sun is always out when we spawn. This means we only visit the village during day and through the ocean. The village goes to a complete lockdown at night, and they break down the bridge connecting the two islands, thus remaining isolated and safe from the Onis. The river is most probably a teleportation medium. Whenever we jump in it, we get teleported to the village/spawn area. This must be true for the Onis too, where they teleport to somewhere in their island, thus keeping the village Oni-proof at night. Not so far east from Japan, we have the Southeast Asian country of Thailand. On an isolated island, beyond the reach of ordinary men, there lived three great clans of Yakshas, powerful spirits from Southeast Asian mythology. The Yakshas were monstrous beings, ferocious, war-hungry, and devoted to Thotsakin. When the temple of their Dark Lord fell, they took it upon themselves to guard it, vowing to reclaim heaven and conquer Thailand before waging war against King Ravana in Lanka. But between them and their goal lay a cursed river, a gateway between worlds. Those who leaped from the village side rose to heaven, while those who jumped from Yaksha land fell straight into hell. Again and again they attacked the village, but each time they failed. The round-headed Yakshas, cunning and cruel, tried to outsmart the river. The human-sized Yakshas, bloodthirsty warriors, fought to claim the land. The giant Yakshas, towering and unstoppable, sought to crush everything in their path, yet none could cross. Their schemes collapsed. Their bodies were dragged to hell. Their power meant nothing against the river's magic. Frustrated, they turned to a new strategy, seizing the village itself. If they controlled the land, they could leap from the safe side and invade heaven. But in the village stood Anan, a man once mocked as ordinary, but remembered as a hero. He had earned his name by outwitting outsiders who came to cheat his people, and now he would face the Yakshas. Using deception and traps, he tricked the Yakshas into their own destruction. Some ran straight into the cursed waters, others were trapped in endless mazes, and the mighty giant sank into marshes, turning to stone. This was a summarized version of a story. The original story would require its own 30 minutes video. It was too long, but this summary gave us an insight to the part that would benefit us the most. The setting of this story is almost same as the setting of Swordmasters. There are two islands, a cursed river between them, and outsiders visiting through ocean. But since I am running out of time, I am only looking into the most interesting fact of all of them. That is, there is a man who stood up against the Yikshaws at the end. But the most interesting fact about him is he was originally the market protector of the village and would beat up anyone trying to cheat others in business. And guess what? We in Swordmasters also have someone similar. In the trade world, there is a stay of a person named Kurumi Tokisaki, who is known to protect the players from scammers and would ban anybody who indulges in scammy business. This is almost biblically accurate story. You cannot get any more perfect than this. Now that we have seen some mythological stories, all of these have some of the resemblance to our favorite game. My personal origin theory is of a Thai folktale. Trace out your origin story using the 3 stories, mixing the elements of all of them, and write in the comment below and let me know your favorite story. Peace out.